Hi everybody, it's Grace, and this is the tutorial for completing your He Is Risen tags for your blocks. And I really like this set a lot. My mother loved it a lot. She kept it up quite a long time. Anyway, so this is a sample that I did. And what I started was I had started this set down here. I'm going to push this up here out of the way. I had started this set and I didn't get it finished because I just didn't get it finished. But I don't want to just not, excuse me, I didn't want to just take it up from here, so I'm going to kind of improvise here a little bit. So the first thing that I do is I take out my papers and I match them up to my chipboard, like this chipboard here, and then I place my letters and whatnot on here to make sure I've got everything, even my little dot here. If you're missing the I for Risen, because it does get lost real easy, you can take a punch or anything like this. I use the black hole punch here and just punch a circle here and then poke it out, and you have a dot for your eye, so that's never an issue really. So except unless you can't get it out. There it is right there. So okay, um so that is what I do. But the first thing you're going to do is I'm going to push these aside, all of these pieces. Push that one up there, and I'm going to take all of these and put them up here, as well as this, and this. Okay, and I'm going to get out. You know, you can use your thing like that, but I've had problems with that in the past. So what I like to do is sometimes when you're inking, when you're inking, the the the, the mat thing just holds onto the ink, and then you can spread it to other parts, and I don't like that, so I'm going to use paper which absorbs it, and then I don't have to worry about it spreading. All right, so let's get started here. I'm going to use the back of this and piece of paper and just do a front and back. And your this page is this piece is cut 5 by 5 on the chipboard, and then of course the paper as well. And then I just embossed it, and you can do your embossing if you choose to replicate this for another time. I just used a busy embossing folder that I liked, and so you could do the same. So it doesn't really matter because it's just like that. Let's go ahead and put some more on these other ones. I like to put my tape on my chipboard than on my paper because I don't want to pull it and tear it. And the chipboard is a lot stronger, so I do it on the chipboard. And then I'm going to put this on here, that. Okay, there's that one. And then there's this one. And the other one I did, the small one, I didn't even start, so I'm not going to worry about that one. And I have the embossed side where the design is raised, so I kind of like that better. I couldn't find my other embossing folder like that, so I had to use this one. I didn't have a choice. All right, so there's that. And once I get this on, they should all be clean. Some of them two-sided, most of them. But at least I can show you the inking better that way. All right. Now we get these in order. So let's do them in order. Actually, I want to start with this one first. The embossing folder wasn't wide enough, so I ran it down here. But by the time you get all this on, you're not really going to notice it. So don't worry about that. But do try to have the other edge close to the bottom. So the colors that I'm using in my distressed inks are Broken China, Wild Honey, Peeled Paint, and I'm also using Concord Grape, and I'm going to also need, I believe, Worn Lipstick. Let me get this out. Worn Lipstick. That's it, yeah. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to start with the Wild Honey. And so on this, your yellow is kind of in the center here. So I'm going to just go around here like this, kind of in the center, going landscape across here. I love warm honey, or wild honey. Okay, and then you're going to take your Worn Lipstick, and I hope this is the right color because it's been a while since I've done this. Okay, pretty sure it is. And I'm going to go on either side of the yellow with the Worn Lipstick, like this. Getting an awful lot of ink there. There we go. We're getting more now. And you can kind of bring it down in and over. It doesn't have to be straight lines, but I like a lot of color on it. You can go light or dark, intense or light, whichever you prefer. Like this. Okay, there's one. Then I finish it off with the blue, the Broken China. And when they kind of come together, they have a little bit of a purple cast too. So that's kind of cool. I think that's the right color, isn't it? Yeah, that may not be. Well, let me get some more on there. It looks nice. You can add some purple to it. I think that's what I did. I think I did add some purple to the blue around the outer edges. Okay. All right, there's that. And then I think I did add some purple. Yes, I know I did. There. I'm even going to add it to the sides. But I don't have to add it down here so much because we're going to cover that with that strip of grass. Now it's right. Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a year since I've done this. And I thought I had a video made, but I didn't. I really did think I had one made. Either that or I had one made and I lost it or deleted it or something. I can't find it. Anyway, so I'm doing it again. And that's nice and bright. So that's what we have. So I'm going to set that one up here, and I'm going to work on these. Now I really didn't need to do that because I only have to show you that part once. But the focal point on this one, I want the focal point in the center and have the pink around the edge with a tiny bit of blue. So I started with this like oval shape here, like this, in the center. Like this. Okay, and out a little bit. And then I'm going to add the pink to it. Okay, so there's that one. Get the pink on there. And blend it into the wild honey. But you want the light to look like it's behind the cross, for sure. And I think these colors will dry a little lighter than you put them on. You see how the paper absorbs the extra, whereas if I had it on the craft mat, they would just move around and it'd smear on the back, but you can see it's not smearing at all. Of course, those foam things might do it if I'm not careful. I need to change these out. Nice and deep pink. And then I'm going to add a little bit of blue, just a tiny bit of blue around the edges. Of course, you can add as much or as little as you want. That one. Okay, and then this one. Now, let's see. This should be square. These are the older tags that I started out with doing. There have always been, and even now, 2 3/4 inches wide, and then then I did the first ones at 2 3/4, so that would be square, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Then I changed to 2 3/4 by 3 and 4 and 5. So there is a difference between them. Okay, so let's see. This is going to be and what I did here that I thought was good was I kept the yellow just kind of down here near the bottom. Mostly. Kind of made a rainbow type effect on it. Like this. You can use the edge of your applicator to bring that over. And pull it in a little bit. And then the blue. So you're just really creating scene. The main feature, I think, of these, the most outstanding feature is the color, and and the message, of course. But a little purple on that too. If you have a little edge here that where your chipboard's showing, just trim it off. If you don't get it on there straight like I didn't do. Okay, there's that one. And then this one is, the E is right in the center spotlight. So I'm just going to go ahead and, no, I'm going to do this one because they're two different embossing folders. But that one's different too, so it doesn't matter. In the center. And center. There we go. Put a circle around this. And then some blue. You can do all your yellow first on all of them, and then all your pink, and then your blue, and then your purple. Kind of production style. Probably would be faster. Make sure your fingers aren't dirty or smudge your paper. But you are going to put a letter over it, so if you smudge it, hopefully it's in a place where you can hide with your letter. Okay, so there's that one. And the last one is this one here. And I definitely have a little edge here that I'm going to trim off. Okay. And start with the wild honey. And again, a center, kind of a center spotlight here. And the pink. Bring the pink in. I think I actually did the old ones with my square applicators, or rectangular applicators, the original ones, and I managed to do it pretty good. Yeah. but this is working even better. Like the round ones a lot. Just like that. And then the blue. The blue. Make it look like a real pretty sunset. That's what I was going for, is the sunset or sunrise. Because we do have beautiful sunrise service, especially on Easter at Red Rocks, and it's pretty breathtaking. Just don't let your blue go into your yellow, because then you'll get a green cast, so you don't want to do that. Into the pink is good, and pink into the yellow is good, but don't let it go any further. Okay, so those are done. Now, let's see. We can start with the H. I'll put this away. I'll just leave it out. It's easier to see. Okay, so then I'm going to put the H on here. So I'm going to get my glue out, and I'm using the Scott's Quick Dry in my little tiny applicator bottle. And I guess you can hear my dog up there barking at something. Probably someone walking down the street. And I'll take this and put this close to the bottom, but not too close. Line it up right like that. Looks a little crooked. Okay, that's better, I think. All right. Oh my, it's my eraser. I did not put, a lot of times I put glossy accents on these, but I did not put glossy accents on these letters because I just thought was more solemn, or more serene, I should say, without the glossy. Okay, so there's that one. That was basically done, except for doing the holes and like that. The E, so the long part of the E is the bottom part, the short part is the top. Okay. And just kind of get an idea where you want it. Put it down. I'm going to do that to this one too. that. It takes more time to ink these than all the rest of it put together, I think. There is some work on the cross. So. And we'll find that little tiny black dot. I'm going to put the glue right here first and then put the dot on it. Okay, there's that one. Now this one. Now this one's a little bit tricky. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink my grass. That's why you need the peeled paint. Just going to ink it like this. I got that about, yeah, that's about right. Just inking the top tips of the grass. I'm going to have to trim this off because I just cut it a little bit bigger and let you guys trim it off. I'm going to figure out where I want my cross because I want a little bit of the hill to show, but I've got to cover up that the bottom of it. So I'm going to put it right about there. So that leaves about 1/4 of an inch right there. Okay, got a little nubbin on that cross. You can clean them up. It would, in this case, it would be better to have the cross and hill down too far than up too high because your grass may not cover it and you'd have to do a second strip of grass, which would give it dimension, but then you lose space for your letters. So I'm going to pick that up with a pair of tweezers. Okay, and I'm going to put it in the middle, about 1/4 of an inch up, like that. Press it down. And then I'm going to put my grass on. I'm not going to glue the grass part. I'm just going to do the bottom part. I'll line this side up. So I only have to trim one side. There's that. Cut that off. That's a little off center, isn't it? Oh well, it's okay. All right, now this is a little tricky. This is one part here, and this is another part. There's the dot. No, yeah. And this is the part of the R that goes here. So what you want to do is lay it in place and figure out how far you want it from this edge, how far you want it from the top. That's all you need to do. Turn it over and glue it down because this is the most important piece to position. Everything else will follow this. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to get it close to that and close to that. Put that down. You don't want to cover up your crosses. You want to have enough room for this. which is next. I suppose you could mark it, but then you have to worry about hiding your marks. But if that makes you feel more comfortable, then by all means, mark it. I have to make sure that that doesn't go across off the paper. What did I do there? We'll try. RISEN. We'll put a dot right there. And then we'll take our R, which goes like this. Oh, does it go like this or like that? I think it looks like that. I did the other one wrong. Either way, it'll work. Press it down. Okay, so that's done except for, put some glue onto there. I put these on with tape, but then a lot of times I'll go back and tack the corners down with glue. And then the cross. So here's what we're going to do with the cross. We're going to work on the cross before we put it on, because we're going to pop it up, at least part of it. Just this top part here. I'm going to ink the cross. Oh, I forgot. I need to use brown too. So I'm going to use, you know what? I'm going to use walnut because it really does work faster. You can use Vintage Photo. I think that's what I used on that. But I think I'm going to use walnut just because it works faster. So I'm going to ink around the edges of this. Oh, you know what? I think I did use walnut because Vintage Photo wouldn't even show, I don't think. So all the way around the cross, all edges, except the very bottom. And then we're going to need a brown pen, marker, fine tip or brush marker, whatever. And we're going to add some wood lines. All right, so gone all the way around that edge. Let me put this away. And I'm going to take my marker. Got a little dot there. I'll have to just use it. Okay, and I'm just going to add some kind of, little wood lines. Nothing real. You can do a little knot hole or whatever, but just keep it simple. Just want to give the illusion of wood. Like that, like so. Now, also with the lavender paper, this is the drape. So it's cut and there's some little lines here that you can follow. We'll need a purple pen. So I'm going to ink around the edges of this, especially the top of this, because it's going to give the look of being folded over the cross. I want to add some dimension to this. Okay, now I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to do the other ones too, but I'm going to put this one on first. The only place I need to glue is right here, here, and here. So I'm going to put some glue a little bit down here, there, and there, and right in here in the center. And when I put this down, I'm going to have it go up a little bit above the line, top line of the crossbar, so that it looks like it's thicker. Okay, and then I'm going to ink these two, and I want to ink them in opposite mirrored like that. I don't have to ink the top of it because that's going to be glued underneath the cross. That one. So I'm going to take a little tiny bit of glue right here. Just bring this like this. Wait a minute, like this, where it looks like it's hanging down from there. So you have to tuck it in a little bit. And then this one as well. I don't think I got that one in far enough. I'm going to move it over some more. I think that looks better. And then you're going to take a kind of a lavender pen, and you're just going to emphasize that the folds in there. Whoops, a little shaky there. And also over here. So that it looks like that. Okay, can you see that? Let me see. All right. Then I'm going to ink this grassy mound. And you can use your distress tool. Where is my distress tool? I haven't used it in forever. Here it is. You can use this distress tool to make it look a little bit more like grass. Or you can just leave it plain and ink it. It's green, everybody will know it's grass. But I like to use my tools. Yep. Put some green on it. Put some on the bottom too. I don't want to forget that. Now what I'm going to do is, oh my goodness, there's an edge on this that I don't like. Okay. So the cross is going to stick up higher than the card. So I'm going to put this green hill down here. Get that glued. Just going to glue like that much of it. Okay. Because I want to be able to tuck the cross behind it. Hide the bottom of it. And then I'm going to punch a hole in the top of this before I do that. Put the cross on. And I'm going to put my string on. Now, another thing you can do is you can punch the hole here and hide it behind the cross. Or you can do the new method where I punch a hole in each corner and then just hang it. But I'm going to do this the way I originally did it. So I'm going to punch a hole right in the center there. I'm going to find my pieces of twine. I'll put this through here. And let's see. I'm going to use a marker or something like this. And I'm going to pull my ends together, tie a knot, and then tie a bow. Let's see, no, I didn't do it that way. I did it like this. Sorry. What I did is I just did it like that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to just take this and tie it in a knot, both of them together. Yeah, because I didn't want all that distraction behind the cross. I just wanted something to hang it with. So I'm not going to have it go up too high. I'm going to pull it down, but leave enough of a loop to where I can hang it on the nail head. Okay, and I'm going to trim that above there and pull it tight so it doesn't come undone. And then I have the hanger right there that I'm going to pop the cross up with some of these things. I got a lot of loose ones here. Okay, just do this. That one's going to be up above there, so start it down about here. I'm trying to use up these ones that came off of the thing. I probably should just throw them away. That's kind of a mess. All right. Here's another one. and all the way down to about here, because the cross is going to go behind the hill. We don't want to take them all the way to the bottom. Oh, those are stuck together. Good grief. Alright, so, okay, like that. Throw those away. And, let's see, is that one? You can usually look at these and know which one of them has paper on them. And you're going to take your cross and you're going to tuck it behind your hill. And line it up. Yeah, that's a little long. I think I will trim this off because it's not going down far enough. So I'm going to trim about at least 1/4 of an inch off. Tuck it down in there again. But I don't want it to be out of proportion. So, but I don't want it to stick up that far either. And then I'll just put it down like that. Okay, so then it's sticking up, but all right. And if they don't stick, then you can pull them up, put some glue behind them, and they'll be fine. So then this will hang like that, and that's the last one. So let's see. Now on these, I'm going to punch holes. Okay, so we got the hanger on this one. That one's done. And I need to do a hanger on this one. So I'm going to find the center of this. I'm just going to find that right there. Okay. And this one. There. This one will be about there. And this one will be right here. Then we'll do this. Put this through here. Take our marker or a dowel or something round that can slide out. Tie that. You're not going to tie it in a double knot because in case you have to take it off and redo it, then it won't be knotted. Then just adjust your bow, pull it tight, pull that out, and you've got it tied with a hole there for hanging it on the loop, on the nail head. I'm sorry. Okay, and we'll do the same thing to these other 3 real quick. That. This. I don't know where my other piece of twine is. I have to go get another one cut, but I don't think you need to see me do that. So there we go. Let's just call that done, and I'll do the last one off camera, and then you can hang these up for Easter or whenever you want to have them out. And I hope you enjoy the project, and I will talk to you later. Bye.